Right, so I want us to start lying down on the floor, so we can go into a full body stretch to start with. Bruises. Right, can you also pass me a TheraBand? So I've got a block standby and a TheraBand, just to see how we get on with things, okay? And you might need to use them to support you in some of your movements. Okay, so the first thing I want you to do is to fully stretch out. So it's arms overhead, legs long, squeeze and stretch everything, and then draw your belly in just for a second, like just to stretch out your body. Okay, relax a little bit, leave your arms overhead if you can. Cross your left over your right ankle. And if you want to give yourself a bit of a wiggle jiggle there, you can. Uncross and then cross your right over your left over your right ankle. Stretch out at your knee joints. Really go long on this for a second. Okey-doke. Uncross your ankles. Still stretch. Point your toes. So lovely ballerina toes. And take your arms out to the sides through a 9 o'clock for a moment. Okay. Arms towards the ceiling. Relax your ankles. So pointing and flexing through your ankles. Arms to the ceiling. Now lift your shoulder blades off the floor and then melt your shoulder blades back onto the floor. So it's a lift up. You might feel some of your vertebrae go. You might not. This is simply about just mobilizing and getting us nice and long and strong. Okay, right hand down to your side, left thumb towards the floor overhead, if you can, and then we switch. And then we switch. So take your time. Don't worry about the breath yet. Try and relax your bum cheeks if you can, because we're going long on the floor. So sometimes that will just create a little bit of compression there in your low back. So just try and relax your bum cheeks. You might be holding a bit of tension there. Okey-doke. Right, and then from there, please bring your heels close to your bottom and bring your hands down to your sides. And just for a moment, rest your hands on your abdomen and rock and roll. So north, south with your pelvis, enabling a flat back and then an arch back away from the floor. So you're rocking and rolling, just a lovely little tilt of the pelvis just to wake up the lower back. Now, as you do this, bring in your bottom muscles and give yourself a bit of a butt squeeze. Lovely. And come all the way up into a bridge. So slowly, in your own time, articulate your spine, taking yourself to the top of the movement, squeezing through the buttocks to open up the pelvis. Now, slowly, one vertebra at a time, lay your spine back down. You might have to go out of the group for that. Okay, same thing again. One vertebra at a time. You slowly unravel, come to the top of the movement. And at the top of the movement, I want you to squeeze your buttocks and think about just opening up your hips. So we're really getting some, how can I describe it? As you squeeze your butt cheeks together, the front of your thighs will just open a little bit. And this is really important here. This is really getting that deep core activation. Slowly let your spine come back down. And then when you're ready, bring one, then the other leg into your chest, holding onto the back of the thigh for a moment. And give yourself a couple of little circles in one direction. And then the other. Now, if you can hold on to the front of your shins, great, but don't worry about it. Hold it onto the back of the knees is perfectly fine. This is just enabling us to just stretch out through the back before we really get going. And if you can, use your arms, so bend your elbows to draw your knees closer into your belly. Now switch direction. I'm squeaking on the floor. It is the floor, it's not me, even though it does feel a bit like me creaking and crying here this morning. Okay, now the feet come down onto the floor in neutral. In other words, a little space between the right foot and the left foot. What I want you to do for a moment is just to drop the right knee out and then pull it back in. Left knee out and pull it back in. Let's just do this. Give yourself a bit of time. This should be quite relaxing. And what I want you to do is to breathe out as the knee drops out and then bring it back in. Breathe out as the knee drops out, because that let it go. I want you to let gravity do the job and let the hip open. Now, I recognize this isn't particularly comfortable for all of you, but we're going to work on this, okay? So I want you to bring the soles of your feet together and drop out both knees as far as they can, and just see if we can relax here. So now, if you feel that you need to support your knees when you do this, or support your legs, you can just stack some blocks at the side of your knees. So when your leg drops out, you can always rest the leg onto some blocks if that makes it less painful, if that makes sense. So we're staying here for a moment because I want us to address the pelvic floor. So knees are wide. We're trying to relax around the pelvis here, trying to relax through the thighs. So there's no tension. And I want us to take the pelvic floor, really focus our mind here and see if we can just relax off through the whole of the pelvic floor. So we're thinking about where you pee through and where you poop, and just try and relax. Just put some effort here to fully relax. Now the piece in the middle, the perineum, that's where we tend to hold quite a bit of tension. So to see if we can relax that down. And what you might notice is that your inner thigh muscles are also starting to relax too, and your knees may sink a little lower. Okay, now we're going to work on connecting the pelvic floor. So think about bringing tension in through the bottom, the perineum, through the urethra, so where you pee, and pull that tension together. And now lift that tension without creating any movement. So we're drawing it inwards and then upwards towards your belly button. So you should feel everything coming together in the abdominals. Then relax it down again. This is just going back to basics. See what we've got going. Is that having a conversation with your lower back? Last time, let's do that. Think about that full relaxation and then create that tension again. So we're lifting gently through the pelvic floor, pulling upwards, inwards. Lovely. Feeling that tension around the whole of the abdomen. Okay, now we can't sustain this engagement, so you just need to relax off a little bit. Tension's on, bring your knees back together. Now, if you want to, walk your feet wider, drop both knees to the right side, both knees to the left side, just to release off the hips. Okay. So from here, we're going to bring the feet back into neutral, right back down to basics. We're going to think about just that lifting up through the arches, lifting up through the inner thighs, lifting up through the pelvic floor. So we've got a real strong connection with our core muscles. Now, as you breathe out, you lift leg one up into half tabletop. Nothing changes in your center. You've got strength and power going on through your core muscles. Slowly layer in the foot down and again on the other side. So we're slowly lifting up and slowly lifting down. And the key here is that your core muscles are doing the work. You're feeling this lovely sense of connection in the center, and you're slowly lifting one leg and slowly lowering it down lightly, gently, softly as the foot lands on the floor. So we're lifting up and holding, lowering and switching. Now don't worry about the breath too much. This is just about noticing that your core muscles are doing the work. Noticing the tension on through your center. Now I've not exercised for probably getting close to 2 months now, and I really feel that. I feel my abdominals working quite hard. Is it 2 months? It feels like 4 years, honestly. Okay, now this time we hold leg one up. Bring your hands to your side, spread your fingers. Relax your shoulders. So think about that core engagement as you hold that leg up. You're still holding one leg. Now when you're ready, bring up the second leg. And we're going to hold that. You might experience a little bit of juddering here. We're just going to try and keep the ankles relaxed. Think about the connectivity, inner thigh, in and upwards towards your belly button. We stay holding, take a breath in. Your right leg extends forward slowly. Lovely. Slowly bring it in. Exhale. Other leg. Bring it in. Other leg. Slowly, slowly. Take your time. Slowly, slowly take your time. We've got a few more rounds to go. So 4, 3, 2, last time. Well done. Hold on to the back of the knees. Bring the knees into chest for a moment. And then when you're ready, put the feet down on the floor. Lovely, lovely. Okay, so you're going to turn, shuffle your shoulders away from me, and then you're going to turn 90 degrees onto your side. Okie dokie. Good morning, everyone. You all right? Okay, so use a block or a ball under your ear, shoulder forward. Shoulder forward, that's not true. Shoulder really stacked. That's what I want you to do, to make sure you are properly on your shoulders. So we maintain a strong alignment. Think about your hips. So I can feel that I've sunk into the floor. So I'm going to just have a little check on my spine, make sure it's nice and long. My hips are stacked and that my top hip isn't rolling in or forward. So my hips are stacked, so you might feel that on your bony bits. Belly into backbone, and see if we can just lift and create a little bit of space here underneath your waistline. Okay, relax your top arm to your hip, if not to the floor in front of you, and create like a little spider hand and press the tips of your fingers into the ground. That's your sort of option. Okay, we're going to lift the top leg a little bit. So the knee and the ankle are the same height. Then we're going to send that top leg out, straighten off the knee. Then we're going to bring the whole leg forward to me, slowly, 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 without disturbing the space in your back and spine, underneath your waistline. Then we bend the front knee and repeat. So the leg goes long. Now make sure it is long, because there's a tendency here to keep that. If you can see your foot in your vision, your foot's too far forward. So make sure your leg is extended long down the center of your mat. Your hips are stacked. Your whole leg comes all the way forward. So we've got a lovely bit of hip flexion here. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Then you bend the knee and then you repeat. Straighten off the leg down to the bottom of the mat. Think about the hip alignment, gentle squeeze through the bottom, ribs lifted, belly button drawn in. Flex at the hip, bring the whole straight leg forward. Bend the knee, extend the leg. Okay, now we stay here with the leg extension. Now we lift and lower. As you do this, I want you to think about the belly button pulled into backbone. Think about the space under your ribs, your alignment as you're gently pulsing and pressing. Breathing naturally and comfortably. And hopefully there's a little bit of a, oh, hello, hips. It doesn't have to be a massive range of movement here. What it needs to be is consistent and a continuous flow of controlled movement. Okay, now from here, hold, turn the toe down and the heel up, flex the foot a little. So we've got a flexed, lifted leg, toe down, heel up, and we're going to press upwards, upwards, upwards. Okay, so these tiny weeny little presses are going to go right into the sacroiliac joint. So you're going to feel this into the lower back, across the back of your bum cheeks, around to your hip. Keep pressing, keep pressing. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. We're not done. Point the toe, turn your toes and your knee towards the ceiling. You're going to slide that leg in towards the bottom and send it high towards the sky. So the leg goes long, you're externally rotated, but you're not rolling onto your bum. You bring the whole big toe inwards, so try and bring that pointed toe towards your thigh and then send it slowly towards the sky. Squeeze the knee, send that leg back down. So I'm bringing the toe and heel as close to my inner thigh as possible, bringing my thigh towards my abdominals, and then I'm stretching the leg as high to the sky as possible before bringing it back down. Let's do this 2 more times. And all of it's gentle, slow, controlled. Well done. Okay, now we bring the leg forward. Your kneecap is pointing towards the wall in front of you. You swing your leg forward to me, and once again we pulse. 10, 9, 8. This is what we call the finisher. Ouch. Because we've got to keep the muscles strong, especially if there is a looming hip replacement. Bring your knee down, bring it onto the floor, give yourself a pat or a rub. Well done, team. Okay, so for the sake of continuity and me not remembering what I've just taught you, I'd like us to just flip over and do the other side. There was a time when I would teach that little combo and then teach it 20 minutes later and remember it word perfect. These days, I barely know my own name. Okay, so let's think about the alignment. Okay, so resting your head on a block or ball cushion, making sure your shoulders are stacked. So your shoulder will feel a bit squished, okay, on the one that you're lying on. Think about pulling your belly into your backbone. Think about your waistline. Okay, and then we send your top leg down. Okay, so when that happens, let's have a little, just make sure that you're not rolling out onto your hip too much, but equally not rolling forward. You have to maintain that really good alignment. Okay, then we swing the leg forward, bend the knee slowly and send it down to the bottom of your space, so the middle of your mat. Bring it forward to me, bend the knee, and then go long. So what I'm looking for here is just a little bit of hip flexion, knee flexion, and then hip extension. So it's quite a nice little simple mobilization, conversation, hip, knee, ankle thing going on here. So slow motion walking, if you like. keeping the hips the same level. So particularly when you stretch that leg down long through the middle of the mat, the hips remain the same level and you're not caving in or losing your form at all. Okay, lovely. And from here you hold and then we gently pulse. Now again, what tends to happen here is that we end up rocking through the hip, but what we're looking for is abduction. This means the leg is moving, the hips are still, the leg is moving away from the center of the body, the hips remain still. So the effort is in what's going on in the hip, making sure it is in a lovely straight line. Lovely. Okay, and then from there, oh, can anybody feel that? Should be like going, oh, starting to bite a little bit. Okay, and from here, toe down, flex the foot, heel up. Okay, and we're going to press again. So this will feel more powerful into the hip. Ooh, lots of those little bad boys. 4, 3, 2, not quite done. Externally rotate the hip. Bring the heel in towards your thigh, thigh towards your ribbon, bust, leg towards the ceiling. Squeeze the front of the thigh, squeeze the kneecap, take the leg right down through the center of the yoga mat. So we're opening up the hip, bringing your heel to your bum and your thigh towards your chest, extending through the knee, and then taking the leg down to the center of your yoga mat. Ooh. Again, this is just waking up that body, going, hello. It's important we're getting as many of the joints moving in all their ranges of movement. Making sure you're not rolling onto your buttocks. Lovely jubbly. Okay, last time. Take your leg down and hold, knee forward facing. So knee is pointing to the wall in front of you. Okay, the ankle is relaxed. We're going to bring the leg forward. Oh God. Okay, I hold it and pulse it. 8. So no, it was more than that. It was about 20 in the end, wasn't it? Oh, see, this is what I mean about remembering. Okay, keep going. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and relax that knee down. Oh, hello. Woo. Okay, so take some water. It's quite warm. Knees stacked. We're going to push up, and we're coming up onto the our side into mermaid pose. So. What I'm looking for is 90-90 with the knees. I say 90-90, it never always is like that. But what I'm looking for is the legs to sweep around to the right side. Okay, sit up and see if you can try and land on both sit bones. What will happen is the front knee might lift a little. Okay, let's see if we can just press that front knee down. What do you need to do to make that stronger? Let's put that down and lift. Okay, so we're lifting up, pressing the knee down. Okay, I'm going to fold forward. So we're coming in a straight line forward and just fold for a little bit. Now, you don't have to make this uncomfortable. This is about really trying to work on your own stretching. Relax your chin, take your eye gaze towards the floor or your front shin, and then move with it for a second. So I want you to find the bit that works for you. So you might want to push your weight now into one of the diagonals. So I'm working towards my front foot. And now I'm working towards my front knee, and I'm going to try and bring my chest down. Okay, and sitting back up. Right, so arms out to your sides. We're going to bring hand down to back shin and stretch over. I want you to really enjoy the stretch on the outside side seam. Bring your arms up and over and stretch again. Now, the other side, allow the elbow to lower as you stretch. Now, we're not looking down, we're looking forward or upwards. Up and over. Up and over. Your hand that is on the floor, push into it with your body weight, but try to keep the stretch on and see how that feels around your shoulders and your ribs. Okay, now watch. I'm going to twist both hands down onto the mat, and I'm going to lower down. Trying to keep both knees onto the floor. Push up, twist, and now I'm going to hold on to the back shin, and I'm going to try and lean in there too. Up, up, over, over. Lower your face towards the mat. Go low or go. Just like enjoy the range and enjoy that stretch. Push up, rotate, and then see how far we can go on the other side. Now for me, I've got a bit of chub in the middle. I'm sure I could fold lower. Well done. Come back to center. Okay, we're going to swing these legs around. Same rules. In the first place, what I want us to do is try and sit on both sit bones. And this gives you a real good essence of imbalances in the body. So in the first place, try and get on both sit bones. Okay, now from there, let's see if you can just press down your front knee. And if you need to, this might help you rise up. And I'm straight onto one sit bone here. I can't maintain my range because my back feels quite restricted. So 2 sit bones, front knee is lifted. I want you to push that down. And as you push that down, what you might do is come off the other sit bone. That's fine, that's normal. Okay, now we fold through the center of the body. So we're leaning and reaching forward. Again, recognizing one side might feel different to the other. Now, breath holding, avoid, embracing breath, good. You all right there, Chris? Crampage? All right? Tough on the knees, I know. I need to just really get some lubrication into the knees. Now from here, we rotate 90, take the hands to the floor and lower. We push up and rotate 180 towards your shins on the outside side. And again, up, around and down. Push up, rotate, reach in. Hold on to the shins. The shins might be able to anchor you a little better. Okay. Taking your right hand into the floor. We're going to, this way actually. So mermaid stretch starts this side. So hand onto the outside of the shin. Lift up, long spine, hand down, lean over. So there's a bend in the elbow as you lean over. Up, reach reach, reach. Up, up. Well done. Last time each way. Making sure we're not folding and looking downwards, we're looking forward. Now, I incorporated, if you remember on the other side, what I said was stretch out. So push out of your bent arm on that side and see how that changes the shape into your ribs and your shoulder. Then come back to center. Well done, guys. Feet go wide. Now, if you find this is too much of a challenge, what you can do is sit on a block just to elevate your hips. Sit nice and wide for a second. Sit back and go back. Okay, right, nice and tall. Legs wide, just for a moment, toes in, toes out, toes in. Lovely. Okay. Sitting nice and tall with a long spine, shoulders back and down, extend your arms out to the sides. Okay, what we'll do, we'll just start with a gentle spinal rotation. And then we'll take that into soar in a moment. So this is just really slowly working through your shoulders, trying to restore some balance here. Shoulder blades together and down. Neck long. And just slowly moving one side to the other, really drawing into your shoulder blades as you rotate. You should be getting tired about now. So your right hand is coming across to the inside of your left ankle. We rise up, rotate, left hand, right ankle. Now I want you to do this at your own pace. And I'm just going to coach you through some thoughts here. Keeping the neck long, shoulders down. It's okay if the knees bend. I want you to think about increasing the stretch, breathing and relaxing through the back as you stretch in each way, and just giving yourself time to enjoy this. If you want to hold yourself into position, that's fine too. Now the back hand, as you rotate, comes up the back or send it behind you. So you're getting lovely internal shoulder rotation at the same time. Lovely. Well done. Release, relax, and then if you can, bring your legs together for a second and just shake it. Shaky, 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 shaky. Okay. That way. So we're going to do some rolling. So what I'd like us to do is to bring your hands forward and think about just drawing your shoulder blades together. Okay. So we're going to roll from here. So in the first place, short and squishy, squishy, squishy through your spine. Eye gaze towards your belly and slowly roll down, pressing your hands towards your thighs. Lift your hands off your thighs and roll back into an upright position. Okay, so we start by dropping down, creating that C shape with your spine, taking your eye gaze towards your belly button and your hands towards your thighs. Eye gaze there on your belly button until you rise up, eye gaze forward. Breathing out as you lower down, belly in, squeeze through buttocks, bring your hands to your thighs. Slowly lift up. Now I'm feeling that between my shoulder blades. So it's really important you're noticing where the tension is. And I'm also juddering. Lovely. Drawing those shoulder blades together, pulling your belly into your backbone. Okay, last time. As we pull ourselves up, we're going to reach forward and bring your hands towards your shins, your ankles, toes or beyond. Just land your hands. Well done. Enjoy this stretch for a moment. Your hamstrings again, a lovely stretch here. Woo. Okay. Now we're going to flip around so we're on all fours. Stretch your hands and work on pressing fingers and thumbs down to the ground. So we're just going to work on, so I've not done any of this, so I'm really excited to do this with you today. Okay, so we are just applying a little bit of pressure as we're circling in one direction, bringing your body weight forward around the tips of your fingers and then back towards your heels and toes. Okay, switch. So this will never go away. This one is always a good old faithful of mine. Okay, now forget about the hands. I want you to waggle your hips side to side. Okay, and now cat-cow. So chin to chest, round up through the back. Switch and lower, eye gaze towards the ceiling. Okay, so we're pulling the belly button in. And then our eye gaze to ceiling. Think about lifting your tail, pressing your fingers into the ground. Now let's see how much of this we can combine, okay? So let's go. A circle around your hands. Switch direction. Waggle, waggle, right, left, right, left. Chin to chest. Cat-cow. Lower down, look up. Come back to neutral. Circle your hands in one direction and then the other. Okay, go side to side with a sway of the hands. Chin to chest, pull up through the belly, round out through the back. Lower down through the ribs, look up. Now, as you look up, waggle, waggle again. Okay, drawing yourself bottom back onto your heels. Use your hands to push yourself backwards. So enjoy your stretch here. Feel the stretch. So I want you to actively press your hands into the ground to push your bottom on your heels. Okay, coming up, take your left hand through the space on the right as we thread the needle. Push up and switch. So, right hand down, right shoulder down. Use your weight on the left, push yourself and increase the range of movement in the stretch. Okay, put both hands down, curl your toes under your heels as we come up into down dog. Walk your feet closer to each other so they are in a neutral alignment. Tail nice and high and lifted. Let's just bend those knees for a moment and go for a walk. So right heel down, left heel down, right heel down. Okay, lovely. Hold it there, keep going. Hold it there and keep going. What I mean is continue in the pose and keep moving. Now, if you want to, we can slow this down and start looking under your armpit as if you were threading the needle, having a little nose. What's going on in the space around you? And then when you're ready, bring your knees to the ground and sink back again. Take your hands to your side. So the back of your hands are down as you bring your forehead down onto your mat. Relax your shoulders. Let your elbows drop towards the floor. Lovely. Okay. Come back onto all fours. So we're just going to focus on the leg side of this for a moment. So hands are directly under your shoulders. Think about your, actually, I'm going to change this. Bear with me a second, okay? Let me just show you. We're going to stay on all fours. I've got the blocks for this exercise. Now, Mary, watch, see how you get on. This might be too uncomfortable, but we'll see. So I want you to put a block or a cushion or a ball underneath your right knee only. And what will happen is you kneel on it and your left, so my right knee's on, my left knee is sliding up and down. Okay, so you can see my bum roll there. So what it looks like, so my right knee is on, my left leg comes up and down, whilst my hands stay fixed and my elbows long and strong, okay? Now this one was really important to me when I had my hips done, the arthroscopies, because I realized the range of movement in the SI joint was really tight and uncomfortable. So, and the idea here is just like you're creating some movement here. Actually, it really is successful in a prehab to get you ready for surgery, and post-rehab, just really making sure that those smaller muscles that connect into the pelvic floor and into the lower back are really firing nicely, okay? Okay, did we like that? Do we hate that? We're okay, yeah? Okay, right, other side, good, good. So knee on, think about your hands, lift and lower, lift and lower. And I know I'm successful on one side way better than I am on the other. So it's working on that balance always. Try not to dangle your head so you maintain that strength in your neck as you lift and lower that knee. Well done, team. And then relax. Good. Okay, so the last exercise before we change it to some breath work, I'm going to demonstrate two options. Firstly, in any kneeling position, we're going to work on lifting back. So watch me. We're going to work on sending the arms and shoulders back. Now watch my head and neck. So we're leaning and then looking back. I'm going to demonstrate now on the floor. So fingers at temples. We're looking to lift, look up and down. So it's basically choose what you think is successful for you. So the focus here is the thoracic cage. Rib cage, you'll notice your buttocks, if you're lying down, want to come into play. But really focus on what's going on through your shoulder blades, right? Lovely. And this is a progressive piece that I'm going to work on with you for the next few months. Lovely. Well done. Release, relax. Good job, guys. Beautiful. Okay, get yourself into a comfortable position to do a little bit of breath work. I'm going to sit today. Okay. We need to slow the breath. Just notice your breathing, how you're breathing. Notice the breath in through the nostrils. The breath out through the back of the throat. Just notice. Can you slow the breath? Can you pause any of the breathing? Can you change how the breathing sounds? More of a growl. Make it more audible. And take your breath right away into your deepest parts of your body. And feel a really lovely release as you breathe away. And only focus on the sounds of your breathing. Only focus on where the breath is landing. And to remind yourself how important it is to look after yourself first. When we have to make huge decisions in our lives, you have to put yourselves first. You have to be strong for you, feel well for you. As you breathe in, give yourself a few minutes every day just to check out and check in. Create some movement in your hands and your feet. Take yourself into a full stretch. Reach out your arms wherever they are, whatever you're doing. Squeeze your shoulders. Punch up your face and slowly bring yourself back into a seated position. Take a long breath in. Big stretch and bring your hands together. Well done, lovely people. I'm going to take you off mute for a second.